All right, traders, we're back. Forex market analytics Thursday morning today, guys. We're looking at the pound New Zealand dollar. We feel there's a very interesting situation here. We actually pulled the trigger. As usual, we're going to present the evidence, and you will do as you wish, right? We'll let you decide what's the smart thing to do here. We feel that there is a very profound technical situation pointing for a downside move. Let me show you. I already marked it down. You can see what I'm talking about. Now, what we're focusing here is on two different setups that are in line with one another. The blue represents a kind of a short-term type of movement, and the black represents the long-term movement. Now, here's what happened over the last couple of weeks, which really got our attention. We've seen price exploding upwards. That's how it started, right? And it broke, in the same shot, by the way, it broke both 201.20, that's a big resistance level, and 202.83, right? Then, now it took the previous high, not the big one, the smaller one, right? The secondary one. But still, that's something. Then it began to cross back below. So in the same shot, that was last week, right? Price landed. Take a look at this beautiful move and the attempt to penetrate 201.20, but then bouncing back up and closing the week right on that spot. That's quite interesting, right? Now, just think about what happened at the beginning of this week. We've seen price. Let's take a look at the daily, right? We've seen price starting the week on the downside, spike in that area, kind of, from the weekly perspective, then going up as if to cross back above. But that didn't work too well. Eventually, it turned out to be just excess noise coming from the daily chart, which is kind of expected. Let me show you again. This is the weekly. Take a look how it looks like. Now, obviously, I've already marked that spike here, right? That spike suggests that price was trying to break back above that 201.20, and it couldn't make it. I mean, let's take a look at the close last week. The close was very, very tight here on the breakdown. 201.17.8, right? Let's round it up slightly, just slightly. So we're talking about 201.18, right? The level is 201.20. So we're talking about 2 pip. That's very, very tight and far from being decisive, to say the least, right? But the fact of the matter is that price managed to gap over that level. I mean, at least visually speaking, right? And then it started to drill upwards and failed. That failure here, that's the bottom line. That's that's price trying to suggest that the 201.20 was an obstacle that it's been able to overcome. All right, so we think price is heading downwards. That's obviously that's what that's what this video is all about. We pulled the trigger. We started with stop loss level at 203. That's pretty far, right? The pound New Zealand is a very volatile currency pair, so we got to give it some room. But basically, we're hiding above 201.20. We expect 201.20 to hold, and it looks like it's holding. I mean, judging from the action, today's action. Just today's action was already, trying to challenge 201.20 from below. So let's see how that goes. If everything goes the right way, we expect the pound New Zealand to continue and build up some negative momentum here, going towards 96.78. Guys, 96.78. That's our primary target and final destination. So we're talking about 300, almost 400 pip. Actually 400 pip exactly. That's pretty much what we're aiming for. All right, there you go. Pound versus New Zealand dollar, looking pretty bearish. We've just starting to follow up on this on the situation here, so we'll definitely be back to continue. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Bye bye.